So once again, welcoming you back, all of you, to the sales territory discussion. We started discussing sales territory yesterday, and probably you would be all thinking that why I am spending so much time, because I know the fact that many of you people will be starting your career in sales profession. So I know that if you have adequate knowledge, if you have better knowledge about sales territory and the various ways in which you can approach sales territory decisions, I'm sure that will help you a lot in your sales profession. So let's continue with this. I just wanted to give you a little more idea about the various operational aspects of sales territory. The first and foremost thing that you need to understand is that in various industries, the sales territory decisions, the designing, the way the informations are gathered, the way the customers are addressed, the way the people who support the sales they are managed. So all these are different ways. As we saw the examples yesterday, in an FMCG brand, the way sales territory is approached, that is entirely different from the way you approach sales territory in the case of an insurance or a service sector. So if you look at a retail apparel brand or any kind of a retail business, again the concept will change. The sales territory method will change. So that is something you need to understand first of all. Now let's see why the sales territory has to be established. What is the reason for a brand or for a service to establish or to come up with sales territory? Otherwise, we can precisely say that what is a purpose, what is the objective of having a perfectly designed sales territory. Let's see some of the basic points, some of the advantages mentioned there in the slide. As you can see, there is a thorough coverage of the market. So what do you mean by that? I think when a sales territory is controlled by an executive, he gathers a lot of information from that market, I mean from that territory where he operates. He gathers competitors information, he gathers the information about whether a competitor has launched any new product to the market, or he will be observing is there any new possibilities to increase the sale of your product. Is there, I mean, if it is an FMCG product, is there any possibility for you to identify a new outlet which is in your territory? So can you display or can you give your products in that newly launched outlet? So how many products can be, how many units can be sold over there? Then you must be getting a lot of information regarding the competitors operational activities in the market. You can also think about is there any feedback relevant from the customer, any feedback relevant from the dealer. So what happens is that when you operate responsibly in a particular territory, people are coming up these kind of knowledge from every territories of this brand, so that becomes a huge information about the market. The company is able to collect a lot of valuable informations which can be used for their sales decisions in the future. So it gives you a thorough coverage of the market. So each and every corner of the market can be easily accessed by your executives if there is a proper thorough territory coverage for you. Now, the next advantage or purpose of sales territory is that it actually establishes a salesperson's responsibility. So he understands that this is what the area given to me. So I need to take care of this area, this particular territory. So whatever the transactions happening there, or whatever the activities taking place, he considers that is going to be his responsibility. So he will understand what exactly is company is expecting from this executive to do. So his obligations are going to be well cleared for the executive. The third one is salesperson's performance can be evaluated. The territory evaluation can be done much effectively. The performance of an employee can be easily tracked, so you can very well measure the productivity of an employee, I mean executive. So based on that, you can redesign or refine the way how the work can be again given to this executive. So sometimes you will come to know that one executive may not be able to cover the entire territory which is given to you. So that actually gives you the insight to the company that that person may require more number of additional staff to cover that territory. So in that case, The performance evaluation indicates the company that more number of people are required in the market, more number of people are required for that territory. So performance evaluation can be done much effectively if you have a perfect sales territory. Another one is, as we discussed in the beginning of this session, many a times you will be missing a customer just because of poor customer relationship management. When it happens, when you do not have proper sales territory design, sometimes your customer may be dissatisfied, he may be upset with the kind of service that you have rented to him. So that becomes a huge problem for many companies when they operate in their sales. So this will ensure, if you have a better territory design in your hands, that will ensure the customer relationship. So there is absolutely no complaint from the side of the customer that the executive is not visiting us, the executive is not interacting with us, because he will get enough time and opportunity to visit the customer and address his concerns. So absolutely better customer relationship can be ensured in this case. Another one is that it's a very very important as far as the practical aspect of a sales is concerned. You can, evaluate the sales expense, and later you can control your expenses in a great way. How does it happen? Because if you do not have sales territory design in hand, sometimes one customer may be addressed by two or three executives at a time. I mean, at a time in the sense that the customer is again and again visited by different executives, because you do not know, the executive do not know where is his boundary, what is his territory, can I go and meet this customer. That's something he is not explained. I mean, he was not explained. So that is a kind of an expense, an additional expense the company is incurring, I mean, unnecessarily affected with. So that should not happen again. Like, you should minimize the entire expenses of your sales activities. So that is one possible way of, minimizing. If you have a territory design in your hand, the customer, I mean, executive knows whom to be visited, at what time to be visited, how can he arrange the meeting. So in every possible ways he can minimize the expenses. Now, as we all know, if you have a territory design, the sales will improve, the sales performance will improve, employee will be, I mean, the executive will be much more motivated, sales expenses can be minimized. Eventually, everything will lead to your organizational benefit. Your organization will be having more advantage if you have a better sales territory operations. And the final aspect is, as we spoke about, salesperson consumer relationship. You can ensure that there is a much more fruitful and I mean, much more superior, I mean, the kind of relationship can be ensured.